On this episode of the Pillars of the Spirit, Spiritual Edition, we're going to be discussing Part 1, Meditation. And I'm going to open your eyes to the truth about what quieting your mind really means. Stay tuned.
It's time to stop living your life like everyone else and learn to discover the spirit that is you.
The first thing that we're going to do is kind of break the boundaries of what you think you are. So instead of picturing yourself as just a body, I want you to take a step back and just listen for a moment. You are actually a vibration. You're a frequency. Your body is always emitting a frequency wherever you go. And your thoughts are a vibration that keep you hooked in to different vibrations around you. So when it comes to meditating, when it comes to growing spiritually, when it comes to opening up yourself for change, you don't want to stay at the same frequency that you've always been on, or else you're not going to go any further than you already have. And chances are you want to grow. So in order to grow, you've got to look at what you are differently. I want you to think of your thoughts as a radio frequency or as a channel that you're tuned into. When you're tuned into a specific channel, you're only able to see what's on that channel. So if you have thoughts that are all pretty similar to one another, then the only thing you can see, the only thing that you can bring towards you, and the only thing that you have access to are things on that channel or on that frequency. Now explain to me how that's going to help you change. It isn't. Quieting your mind is how you remove yourself from that channel and you let yourself tune into other stations. So when growing or nurturing your spiritual side, you want to change your radio signal, so to speak. So in order to do that, you have to stop allowing your mind to continuously plug you in to the same frequencies. So how you do that is you quiet your mind, which seems impossible because it's always going. But trust me, it's a practice. It's something that you start small with. And when you develop that skill, it starts to come easier and easier. But it takes some time because you're working at, again, reprogramming your brain. And those of you who have also been on other parts of the Pillars of the Spirit, you're aware that that takes about 30 days to start to see any progress. So you have to start biologically reprogramming so you have access to these things much faster and easier, and they become a habit instead of a forced behavior that you're trying to learn. So starting small with quieting the mind. If you get to a point where you do it for 30 seconds, that's amazing. If you do it for a minute, that's great. It's thought that about 20 minutes a day, and even in that 20 minutes, if just sitting and relaxing, if only for about 2 to 3 minutes your mind is quiet, then you're making the right connections in order to help slowly move up your frequency dial. And that's what you're ultimately trying to achieve. So there's so many different ways on how to quiet the mind, and it can be maddening. But some of the easiest techniques are just simply paying attention to your breath. For me, it works better if I actually place my hands in the location where my breath is going to be pulling my body in and out, so that I become aware of the movement and also aware of the action of breathing. That helps to deter my mind from thinking because I'm giving it something to do. So closing your eyes for a moment, and let's place our hands on our chest and take a deep breath in and breathe out. And follow that breath in, paying attention to your chest rising, and as you breathe out, paying attention to it falling. Seems simple, right? Every time a thought comes in, it's okay. The last thing you want to do is get angry about the thoughts, because then you're tapped into the frequency of anger, and that's not going to get you to where you want to go. Acknowledge the thought. I even sometimes will say to the thought, you know what, I'm going to handle you as soon as I'm done with me time. I'll be right there. So I almost treat it like it's a part of myself that is worthy of attention. But in these moments, my self-love matters more. At first, when you start, set a timer for about 30 seconds. After doing that pretty successfully for about 10 days, then bump it up a little bit to 45. And slowly move forward from there. If the breathing technique does not work well for you, there's other techniques too. Focusing on other areas of your body is one of them. So just taking all your attention down to a location like your knee and just feeling everything about your knee. You'd be really surprised. As soon as you tap into a different frequency, you'd be really surprised about how much you actually feel in your knees, in your arms, in your body that you never even noticed because you simply weren't tuned to that frequency. All this you can change. So imagine the endless frequencies available to you. Imagine what happens when you expand to them. That's what I'm here to show you what to do and how to do it. If you're looking for more on this topic and so many others, take a moment to check out our Patreon community. Becoming part of our community is so incredible for you to expand your mind, and you'll receive regular tips on meditation. You'll receive regular items and things and suggestions to use during these meditations, as well as so many other amazing benefits to help you expand into the spirit that is you. That community is for those who are really ready to start putting themselves first and sharing the energy from within. So I'm excited to see you there and very excited that you're taking the first step to expanding the spirit that is you. My name is Jillian Greyse, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share so you do not miss an opportunity to watch any of the videos in the Pillars of the Spirit. Thank you so much, and I'll see you soon.